Web3.tv.
Hello and welcome to Web3 TV. I'm Lisa Amnegard, and today we're at the HODL Summit 2025 here in Dubai. Joining me right now is Sabrina Gross, Global Accounts Director for Facephi. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, lovely to be here.
And I know you've just gotten off the stage, so how's your day been so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, the conversations here are so nice, so interesting, so to the point. And of course, it's always fun to give a keynote speech, so I'm very happy.
And I'm a little bit more interested to know about Facephi and what's your core mission. You're doing some very advanced things in biometric identification, so please tell me what you guys are doing.
So what we do is identity verification from the very start of the process when you're onboarding a customer. So we start from document verification, making sure that it's not a fraudulent document, that the holder of the documents is the right person who is sitting with us. Then we go to face biometrics, comparing the actual document to the person. And from there, the next stage will be authentication, we can add additional security levels. So all making sure that we have the right person that applying for the right thing, and making sure that we try to cut fraud there and then.
Definitely, and there are many companies that do similar things. So what kind of makes Facephi stand out?
We have the services end-to-end, which is, I think, a really, really important part. We don't do only face biometrics, we do also voice and fingerprints. So it's really up to our customers to utilize the best scenario for their customers, the best solution. So if, for example, you're in a very, very crowded place, you can't use your voice in order to authenticate, you might want to use your fingerprint, or you might want to use the face biometrics. So by giving the options to the customers, you enable them to have the best journey that there is, and making sure that they are secure, their identity is secure, it's who you want to be, but also that they have it like super comfortable, and they don't need to say, oh, I'll do it later on because I can't complete it now.
And does it actually matter what type of how you identify a person, whether that is a photo or your fingerprint or voice?
So that will depend mainly on the channel of use. So of course, if they're calling over the phone, you wouldn't be able to do maybe fingerprints, or if it's a secure building, or if it's someplace where you would require. So that will be a major thing that will differentiate. But the second thing will be, it really depends on the regulation of the sector. So in some cases, you're allowed to do fingerprints, or you're allowed to do voice. In others, you're not. So it's really by use case by use case.
Okay, definitely. And if we look at how now AI and machine learning has really accelerated many, many industries, so how is it accelerating the digital identification processes space?
Well, it made a major change, because when we're looking at it, as the identity verification comes to stop fraudsters. So if they're using AI tools, of course, the process needs to be AI enabled. And there were quite a few talks today speaking about fraud and AI. And when it comes down to it, you have to use AI to fight AI, because only the AI will be able to pick up on all the little signals that we as humans might not be able to do that. So that has accelerated the use of identity verification, of different platforms. The whole idea that we moved a lot of the things online. So during COVID, a lot of the services moved online, and if that moved online, you have more AI embedded everywhere, and that means the solutions need to be AI-based as well.
Yeah, the solutions need to be smarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Smarter, work faster, constantly update, because, again, the fraudsters will push the envelope constantly. So us as providers, we will need to continue innovate and continue pushing the solutions as they come along.
Stay at the forefront of cybersecurity,
Exactly.
right? And if we look at kind of what's next for the identification, verification processes industry, what do you see?
So I think a lot of it is driven from regulation. So we see that the fact that we have now digital identities in more and more countries. Here you have the UAE ID card, but also in a lot of other countries, whether it is Denmark, the US are talking about it, the UK are talking about it. So the fact that people will have a digital identity as a means of identify themselves, of course, will make it much more spreadable, or everywhere you can find it. The second thing is that we see that new financial services, for example, tokenization, which was what my keynote speech was about, actually will need also identity verification. It will come hand in hand. because people would be able to own assets in the real world, just part of the assets, and in order to make sure that they can be verified and we know who owns the assets, this will be where the identity verification and the digital identity will come into play. So we see regulations fast moving towards the digital identity. We see interoperability between countries becoming a more and more prevalent matter. And I think it will definitely go there.
And when it comes to sort of, because now it's a kind of very separate still, like it's an industry where you have, let's say, you have to verify yourself for your bank, and then you have to verify yourself for something else.
For travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you go to the airport. But do you see these types of services unifying or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that in a very near future, we will have verifiable credentials. So some kind of bodies, for example, Facephi, will be able to say, okay, this is the person, and you will be able to reuse that identity multiple times. We see that it happens already in some countries. So Denmark, for example, will have their digital ID, and you can use it across services. We know that airlines and airports are now talking about it to make it accessible globally. So I think it will just follow. It needs the regulations to be supported in multiple countries. So I think in the next few years, we will see it more and more available everywhere.
Yeah,
and for us as consumers, it will be easy. Just take your phone with your digital ID and that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to learn more about Facephi, how can they find you?
So please either go online to facephi.com or connect with us on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to share.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Likewise. And I'll be bringing you more interviews. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 TV.
Web3.tv